Dear students, in this module, we are going to talk about the types of education that are available in Pakistan. As you know, our education system has a lot of variation, and in that variation, we talk about formal education, non-formal education, and informal education, as well as about the religious education. So we will be talking about all these one by one. So if we talk about the formal education, it's a full-time education process. A child needs to be enrolled in a school, whether it's a public school or a private school, for a considerable time period that usually ranges from 4 to 6 or sometimes 7 hours per day, and also between 5 to 6 days per week. So chronologically graded education system that we have, it starts from sometimes from Montessori and then to nursery and then prep, as well as to primary education, secondary education and higher secondary, and then to the postgraduate education system. So technical and professional trainings are also part of our education system, where we learn different skills to become an electrician, maybe to become a plumber, maybe to become a surveyor, etc., etc. Then running from primary schools through the university, it is the step-by-step process from where you need to clarify certain exams, and from there you are promoted from one grade to another grade. Our education system has the subject orientations like humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences. So if you wanna opt for the social sciences, you have to do that at the secondary level education system, and then your track is defined as the social scientist. And whereas if you wanna become a natural scientist, maybe an engineer or a doctor, you need to choose a different track for that. So when we talk about the learning in the class, we have very diversified pedagogical methods. Some teachers would prefer to use the multimedia or the latest pedagogical skills, while others would be comfortable with the traditional modes of imparting knowledge. So grading and certification is a must. You acquire degrees at the end of your term when you are passing the exams, and after successfully passing the exams, you are awarded the certificate or degrees. So pretty relatively easy but competitive access to the job market is also the feature of our formal education system. So here is the glimpse of our traditional schooling, in which you find that children, due to the lack of facilities in the public education system, they are sitting on the earth to get knowledge. Then we have the informal education system that do not use any particular learning method. It's not very systematic. It is not registered formally with any government education system or authority, and it is the conscious efforts are not involved in a way that informal education system does not have a particular curriculum or a particular course outline based on which you are imparting those skills or a particular kind of knowledge. For example, at your home, you are also getting the informal education in the form of religious education, or maybe in the form of your native language or your regional language that you acquire. So it is taken from the family, community, society with no hard and fast rules, and neither pre-planned nor deliberate. It is sometimes you take it for granted that where you are born, you are acquiring those skills. Like for example, your family members taught you how you can walk, how you can speak, and what language you need to speak, and other social skills. So these all are part of informal education. So it may be learned at some marketplace, could be online or at your home. While watching all those online stuff and the videos that you are quite familiar with in this modern era, you are also getting that kind of informal education. It does not possess any specific time span. It starts from cradle and lasts to the grave. So it means that this informal education process is lifelong process and less costly and time efficient, because you don't need to hire someone, you don't need to pay fee for that. It means that it's almost pretty much cost effective. So no need to hire the experts, and general terms for education are not specific and not determined by anyone. So you are free to learn whatever way the society or your family begin to teach to you. So it's outside of the formal school setting, and it has no regular curriculum, no obligation, as well as not formal certification. So here is a difference between the informal education and non-formal education. So non-formal education is specifically for the adult education or the adults' basic learning, those who couldn't find the opportunity to learn some basic skills in their childhood. So some non-formal schools were opened by the government as well as by non-governmental organizations to teach them or to help them learn about the basic skills of life, like the alphabet, how to read, how to write, and how to do some basic mathematical calculations. So it's the adult literacy education, it's school equivalency preparations as well, that if after learning those basic skills, those adults could go further to acquire the higher education if they were interested. And the learning of basic skills or the job skills were also part of that plan. For example, by teaching them about how to read and how to write, they might be acquiring some basic computer skills as well, so that they could work on some professional level in the IT sector as well. And then we had the Boy Scouts and Girl Guides. These were the basic social skills, rather, for social welfare and for the general community development, so that these people could go into their communities to work for the general betterment and general safety of their own surroundings. Then we have the fitness programs, in which the fitness skills are also taught, like the gymnastics as well as the running and other such fitness programs, where you could enroll yourself to get such kind of non-formal education. These all non-formal activities are pretty much flexible with your age. There is no age restriction, there is no specific curriculum, and they are not time bound. So these courses are more often than not freely available, because these are offered by some philanthropists, some non-governmental organizations for the adults, developed by some organizations. So the non-formal education is planned and takes place apart from the school system, and the timetable and syllabus can easily be adjusted by keeping in view the people's availability. For example, if the adults are enrolled in those education systems, it is kept in mind that they also need to go to their job, or maybe they are professional. So after that, sometimes, rather mostly, these instructions are available in the afternoon. So it is practical and vocational education, and non-formal education does not have the age limit. So here is one of the examples of the non-formal education system. As you can see, that most of the people are of elder age, so they are trying to learn the basic skills of reading and writing. Then we have the religious education system. It provides the Islamic education the institutions have their own management system apart from the formal schooling, and these are run on the aids and donations provided by the government and other philanthropists. And usually these are called these Islamic or religious education system are called the madrasa education system, and Pakistan has established the regulate the madrasa activities, and provide these are also the major source of imparting education, especially to the destituted people, those who cannot afford the formal education system. So these are often free religious education system with the boarding and lodging. So here is one of the glimpse of religious education system in Pakistan. And if we talk about the diversification of education, we have a lot of variation. We have the vocational education, technical education, commerce and business, agriculture education that teaches you the basic skills, agricultural skills, and about the medicine, you become the medical doctor, and engineers, that you go into the construction field, as well as the social sciences, you become an economist, a politician, or a political expert, or maybe you can go into the media studies, or maybe you can become, just like you can become a sociologist or a law specialist.